Welcome back to this week's Wednesday Wisdom. I want to share with you the number one challenge, the number one difficulty that I heard from business owners in 2020. And the reason why I think this is super important is because it's going to be the same challenge that people have if they're not aware of it and they're not able to clear it up. So here's specifically what it was. It was people asking questions. It was business owners asking questions that were around the concern, around the fear of, what if I fail? What if what we do, we go all in and we do the best that we can, and after giving it our all, we still fail? What happens then? And what I Okay, apparently we just had some technical difficulties. But then again, that is one of the lessons that we had. Amazing how that worked out live. That was one of the lessons that we had when it came to Corona, when it came to last year, when it came to all the social justice things going on that were affecting the media, when it came to questions about politics and controlling people's free speech and controlling people's ability to go freely walk around and do business and travel. All these things were the unexpected. And just like that glitch of, I don't know what just happened with my camera, just shut off and the screen just went blank. That's the unexpected. That was the challenge, is being able to deal with the unexpected in the moment and knowing how to respond without feeling like you have to react, without feeling like you have to retreat, without feeling like you have to actually retract and pull back from the plans that you had set in motion and the goals that you had written down, hopefully, at the beginning of the year. And so it's a scary thing, because when things happen, that the unexpected takes place, people don't know how to navigate that. They just know, okay, as long as I'm driving down this road and there's no detours and there's no traffic and there's no car breakdown, and there's no explosions in front of me and there's no cops, as long as the unexpected doesn't take place, I know what to do. But guess what? That's not how life works. That's not how relationships work. It's not how business works. And it for sure is not how 2020 worked. So the number one thing that I saw from business owners, the challenge that they had, was how to navigate in the dark while still feeling like they're driving in the light. And what that comes down to is, specifically, it comes down to having clarity and being confident. Clarity in the unknowns of how to navigate that. What's the best strategy? What are the right people to connect with? What should be the approach that we use? How do we navigate this now that we thought we were navigating its normal month of March, and then boom, Corona smacks us upside the head and we don't know what to do? How do we navigate that? So that was one of the first things that I saw, is how to get clarity when things and the people around us and situations and all the things that we're seeing on social media feel like everyone's lost, right? It felt like the blind leading the blind. The second thing that I saw was confidence. Like I was just sharing, what if I try and it fails? What if we give it all that we got and it still falls flat? So I want to first address that piece, about that confidence piece, that sense of, I know I got this and we can be successful despite the odds. So there's something called the confidence competence loop. That confidence competence loop essentially is that people think that the more competence that you get, the more confident you become in that area. And the more confident you become, the more you're likely to do it and be successful at it. Therefore, the more competence or experience you're going to get. The more competent you get, the more confident you are, right? That it just goes in this circle. But the truth is that is actually not always the case. Some people think that the only way that they can feel confident about something is by doing it before. But guess what? How many people do you know who are confident that they know how to navigate marriage and then they get divorced? Experience is not the thing that gives you that recipe for success. Sometimes it gives you better chances of it, right? But we also know people who did not feel very confident about marriage, or they haven't had any experience doing it. Sorry, let me say that again. They didn't have experience being married. It's their first time, but yet they've been married for decades and they live very fulfilling marriages. So it's not about knowing that you have experience doing it before you step into doing it. It's actually the opposite. That very often, if you look at entrepreneurs, you look at the ones who have been most successful in 2020, in the time of greatest uncertainty over the last number of years, they were not competent. They hadn't navigated that situation before, but you know what they did navigate? They navigated other situations where they were also inexperienced. And they had a confidence in themselves that said, I know how to navigate this. I don't care about what people say. I don't care about what everyone's talking about on the media. I'm going to focus and stay in my lane, stay in my game, and do what I do best, which is whether they're a visionary or they're an implementer of ideas or they're someone who asks questions and questions status quo. They're going to keep doing the things that they did that got them to where they got before the unconfident situation or the unprecedented or the unknown showed up in their business or their company or their life. And so confidence actually doesn't start in the mind and it doesn't start in the bank account. It starts inside of you. It starts inside of your heart, it starts inside of your gut. It starts with that ability to be able to tune out all the noise in here and all the broadcasting of whatever else is saying and be able to go inside and say, okay, what do I know? What do I actually know? Okay, life isn't over because Corona happened. I also know that I don't need to have all the answers right now. I also know that there's some question marks and that there are some unknowns, but there also are things that are known, things that I can predict, things that I can control, right? And then being able to say, what is the situation as it is? Not as the media says it is, not as the constant negativity network, aka CNN, says it is, not as any other social media or other channel says it is. What is the exact reality as it really is? And then what does it look like better than it is? And then asking yourself the next question, which is, okay, what is the possible downside, right? What are some of the pitfalls that could happen along the way? So it's realizing that confidence actually starts not from seeing results. It starts from seeing yourself, from seeing what do I actually have. If I'm driving the car of this business, if I'm driving the car, I'm leading this home or this relationship or this team, what do I actually know about what I've done before, even though this is totally new territory, but I know that I can navigate this because I know that I have the ability to do it. Even though I haven't seen that play out yet, I trust in me. Confidence is about trusting in me. I want to read you an amazing, amazing line. Confidence, this comes from a book by Dr. David J. Lieberman. And he says, confidence is how effective we feel within a specific area or situation, while self-esteem is defined by how much we recognize our inherent worth and feel deserving of happiness and good fortune. Self-esteem is shaped by the quality of our choices rather than the assets at our disposal. Confidence is about saying, I don't know what will be, but I know that I'm able to look at the assets at my disposal, the resources that I have, the connections that I can nurture or I already have in my network, and I can get results utilizing those resources. I can be resourceful to achieve an outcome that I haven't yet achieved or an outcome that I want to achieve in an unknown situation that we've never been in before. Look at the people who did that. Or look at the ones who had the best record-setting years, and I guarantee you that that is what they did. In 2021, that's no different. In 2019 or in 2030, no matter what the year is, that is the ticket. It's confidence coming from inside of you. And when you come from that place and you ask yourself the right questions, you're able to tune out all the nonsense and the noise, that's where you can start to get clarity. That's where you start to realize, you know what? You know why stressful, unexpected things keep showing up in your day? Because you're resonating with stressful and unexpected things showing up in your day. And that's why it's preventing you from focusing on your business and achieving your goals. And people want to know, what are the goals I should achieve this year? What are the goals that I should set this year? What is reasonable? How do I set them? There's tons of great questions, but it starts with confidence. And confidence then leads to clarity. Because if you're not confident about with the situation you're in, whether it's Corona, whether it's business, whether it's switching industries, whether it's pivoting, whatever the word is, whatever the situation is for you, it starts with getting outside of this getting into here and knowing how to tune into that. I gave you 4 questions that you could ask. I suggest that if this was valuable to you, let me know. I'd love to hear in the comments. I'd love to hear in DMs. I'd love to hear whatever questions you love to address this coming year. And I'm sure that I could share more with you about the confidence and clarity. And I plan to do so in some upcoming lives. Have an amazing, amazing day. Would love to hear what resonated. We'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. for Wednesday